So I got a screener for a movie called Glowzies, and this is a family-friendly horror film starring James Remar of Dexter and the Warriors fame. And that's kind of what caught my attention because I do quite like James Remar, so I was like, all right, screw it. And these kind of fun zombie comedy type movies can be entertaining, can be exciting at times. It depends on how they're done. So I threw this on thinking, hey, maybe I'll watch this with my kids. I didn't. I watched it alone. I threw it on for my wife for maybe like 5 or 10 minutes, and she was like, no. So I continued on without her. And okay. So there are these like influencers. Everything now has got to be influencers. And they come to this like small little town, and one of the girls' grandfather used to own this place, and she wants to go in, and James Remar and his buddies are these like old dudes who watch over the place. They call themselves the Watchdogs, and they stop people from entering the area, which they're not doing a very good job of, to say the least. Like they're doing a piss poor job at it, to say the least. Jesus Christ. But eventually, of course, they go in there, and there's this like green slime that turns people into glowing zombies, or Glowzies, as they call them in the film. Yeah, I don't know. This tried to go and be something like, the family-friendly horror film, like a Gremlins or something. And yeah, it's. I wish it worked. I get the intention here, and I think that the person who made this made it with the best of intentions and really wanted to make something super fun. And I could see people having fun with this. I think if you're into like super silly, super low budget, fun type films, and this is your brand, like if you vibe with the movie, then yeah, you might dig it. I always just wanted more from it. You know what? I think what my issue with the film is because it is family friendly, I didn't find the story to be all that compelling for my kids, right? Like the way that we make family friendly horror is we always put a couple characters in there that my kids can relate to, right? The reason that like Stranger Things kind of works for the whole family, or the Goonies or Gremlins or whatever, is they always have some younger kids in there. Even if you take something like Return of the Living Dead Part 2, right? Like our main characters are children, and you view it through their lens. I feel like had maybe we had a couple kids in here, then it would have tonally fit. But because we're dealing with a bunch of like influencer adults and old people, and like the family friendly aspect of it, because like having the old people and a couple younger kids come in made it feel like a VFW. And if you saw that movie, and that's very hard R-rated, which is what I like and what I would have definitely wanted from this film. I think it would have worked for me, but I could have also enjoyed it being the family-friendly thing. But it kind of felt like it got caught in the middle. It felt like it was appealing to no one in a way, where they didn't really commit to going into the R-rated stuff because they were trying to make it family friendly, but it also didn't really feel all like that family friendly, in the sense of like, I don't feel like it would appeal to my kids. Like if I watched this with them, they would be like, I'm not into this. Like there's no characters for me to latch onto. There's no characters for me to feel connected to, and to experience the film through. And I'm not saying all kids movies or family movies have to have kids in them. I just think that would have helped this film and made the tone work to its benefit, because it just like it kept feeling like it should be R-rated. Like a lot of what was happening in the film was like, oh, this scene would be so much better if they like committed to an R rating and just went for it and got graphic with it, or like threw in a lot of like exploitative things. That would have made it funnier. or if we were experiencing it through kids, right, then the more silly nature of it would have made sense through the lens of a child. So I don't know. It just felt kind of caught in between for me, and that's why this ultimately didn't end up working. I do love seeing James Remar, but it kind of feels like it's going for like a Night of the Creeps, but for kids kind of thing, and it never sticks it because I don't like the effects on the Glowzies. They look okay. There's some cool-ish practical and CG effects with the substance that's crawling around, but ultimately, I don't know. The budget is very small, which I commend them for trying with a budget like this and succeeding to make an actual film. And if this is the way they wanted it and they're happy with it, fantastic. But this one just wasn't anywhere near enough fun for me. Yeah, that's it. I don't really know what more to say about the film, but I checked it out. I sat through it, and those are my thoughts. Let me know.